Brazilians have been left furious over the ordeal of a black man jailed for more than a week in Rio de Janeiro after he was mistaken for a suspect simply because they were both Afro-Brazilian with shaven heads. Antonio Carlos Rodrigues, 43, was arrested on July 13, accused of taking part in an armed robbery at the Venezuelan consulate. His case serves to highlight the institutional racism black and mixed-race citizens still face in Brazil, despite making up more than half the population. It does not change, and it will never change. Society is racist, and it will always be, Mr. Rodrigues told local media when he was released from jail late Friday. Scroll down for video. In an attempt to identify him, police had compared video surveillance images from the consulate's robbery to photos the man had put on social networks. However, the surveillance images were unclear, and the suspect was wearing sunglasses. According to a report published by the G1 site, the commissioner in charge of the investigation saw a resemblance in skin color, the shape of the nose and face, and highlighted certain features such as the bald head and large pointed ears. Share this article. Share. The family of the detainee carried out its own investigation and got other images from security cameras. It turned out the suspect who appears in the consulate video was already in prison. He had been arrested a few days later for another assault with an armed weapon. It's a massive mistake. Anyone can recognize the physical differences between the two, Rodrigues' brother told the G1 news site. Police in Rio de Janeiro finally acknowledged their error and gave the order to free Mr. Rodrigues. They have now opened an investigation to establish the responsibilities in this case. In the aftermath, many Brazilians signed on to a social media campaign called Number Somos Todos Antonio Carlos, we are all Antonio Carlos. Brazil was the last country in Latin America to end slavery in 1888, and even now, acts of institutional racism deepen social inequalities. For example, data show that only 5% of black and mixed-race Brazilians hold managerial positions. One of the contenders for the presidential election in October, Jair Bolsonaro, is currently under investigation for alleged racism over derogatory remarks he made about Afro-Brazilians. The so-called Brazilian Trump is polling second behind ex-president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who is jailed for corruption and may therefore be barred from the race.